We're going to take a look at a very distinctive Neil Young song. This is, of course, Out on the Weekend from his 1972 phenomenal album, Harvest. Anyway, it uses a very typical technique of his of pounding heavily on the bass notes, just like Cowgirl in the Sand. So we'll talk about that. He also does he plays a few chords with a very difficult fingering for most people. And we'll talk about that, and we'll talk about alternatives to getting the beginning to sound like what he did with a little bit easier technique. Than the double thumb wrap. Neil plays with his thumb wrapped around two bottom strings. Anyway, that's how he plays his B minors in this song. We'll talk about the chords, we'll talk about some unusual chords, just a little bit on the picking. The introduction comes out differently every time, so we're not going to do a note-by-note thing, tablature or anything like that for the intro, but I will at least talk about some of the options. So first I'm going to talk about the right hand. Matter of fact, I'll tell you about the right hand here first. Really good thing to practice is just hitting. I'm hitting the 5th string here, but I'm muting it with the base of my hand. Right as I hit the string, the base of my hand is landing right on the saddle, barely touching the string. Now, if I miss the saddle, if I'm laying back here, it's not going to work. And if I get too far up here, I'm going to get nothing. So you have to find just the right spot along near the saddle to get just a little flesh on that. That is one of the big keys to the sound that Neil Young gets here. So work on that first, then in the next segment we'll break down what else is going on. But you got to get that pounding happen right there. Got it? Okay, more coming up. A few more details on the right hand that are really important, and that is I'm just playing an A minor chord here for no particular reason. But the basic strum that we're going to have in this song is pounding on the bass note twice and then down, down, up. But we want everything heavily muted. So again, right there, right on the saddle is where the base of your hand is pounding as you do this. Now, when he picks out, like the intro and other parts of the melody, a lot of times he'll be hitting mostly on ups. You just have to make sure you keep your hand moving the whole time. Let's talk first about the chords that happen in the verse, because we just have a very simple progression. A's, standard A major chord, to B minor, to E, and back to A. That's our little 4-measure line. The second half of the verse, same thing again. A, to B minor, to E. Now, at the end of the second verse, he cuts it short. He hits the E chord and goes to E sus4. That would be done by adding the A on the 3rd fret, 2nd fret of the 3rd string. A couple highlights of the introduction that are worth trying to bring out as you're working on this. Of course, I already talked about the fact that he plays his B minor with the thumb wrapped down here, and that means he's getting the bass. He's hitting the B and the bass as double eighth notes on the first beat. And now, if you can't do that, matter of fact, I even hate to recommend trying this because it hurts. But it's what you could do to make up for this is play it with a bar. And then just let go of it.